The desert Southwest, what a great place to crown a champion. Today it will be that for the NASCAR. The desert Southwest, what a great place to crown a champion. Today it will be that for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Qualifying happening right now at the Phoenix Raceway. Alongside Dale Jarrett and Kyle Petty, I'm Dave Burns. Glad you could join us. Marty Snyder will be talking to drivers down on pit lane. Before and after laps as they go here this afternoon. One lap of qualifying for the drivers here. They have just begun, and these drivers will be the most interested in what happens in qualifying. The championship for Dale Jarrett this year, it is an interesting mix with Custer Mayer, Allgaier, and Nemechek.
Yes, it is, and one of them will be experiencing their first championship in this Xfinity Series. So should be quite the interesting afternoon. But the first thing that you have to do, that you want to do, is get you a good starting spot so that you kind of control the race from that.
This is Rajah Caruth on track now. He is one of the cars that has to qualify in on time. This is not a car that competes regularly. And Rajah with a fantastic opportunity with the Hendrick Motorsports number 17 this weekend.
Yeah, huge opportunity. Huge opportunity to show people what he can do in a car that's a winning car, a winning caliber car. That's a lot of pressure on the driver. We talked about the pressure on these four coming in for a championship. You take a guy like Rajah and put him in this situation. He just needs to be clean all day long and show that he can be competitive in their stuff.
Checked in with the crew this morning. They were very impressed with what they saw yesterday. He was 17th in practice, and that was just fine for this team. Now, one of the other cars that had to make it in on time was Brad Perez in the 74 car. That was his qualifying lap, and it did not happen the way he wanted it to, Dale.
No, you know, we're so hard to be the first one out at any point in time, but the racetrack is set here all day. Nothing's happened since the trucks were on track last night, but this track has just continued to heat up all day, and was to be his first start on an oval. He's run all of his starts, and he's had 8 of those have been on road courses, so difficult effort for him, and unfortunately it didn't go so well.
Dawson Cram is next in the 07 car. Gets the green here, and he will see what he can do against the set time of Rajah Caruth, which is a 27.3. Yesterday in practice, his quickest lap was a 28.1, so track showing a little bit of speed. Rajah throwing a little bit of speed at it today.
He's had a couple of decent runs. He was in that 74 car a few weeks ago and had a really good run with it. Finished in the top 15, top 20 with it. So good little driver, just still looking for a position to call his own and a team to make his own.
And Dale, it's that kind of weekend, isn't it? People shuffling rides for next year. A lot of unknowns here in the Xfinity Series as well.
Yeah, there are a lot of unknowns that are happening. You know, things we do know is there are a number of drivers that are moving on to the Cup Series. So some rides are opening up, but we don't know exactly how everything is going to shake out. And drivers are here basically saying, hey, don't forget about me. You know, they're showcasing their talents, talking to everybody that they can, try to get something lined up to where they can be a part of this Xfinity Series next year.
Chris Hacker takes to the track in the 53. We head down to Marty Snyder. Hey, Marty.
Dave, a crazy finish to the Martinsville race last weekend involving RCR teammates Sheldon Creed and Austin Hill. So, Sheldon, what was the kind of fallout this week? Did you and Austin chat at all, or is your final race going to go without talking to your teammate here at RCR?
Yeah, there was no conversations or anything, but I had a good week, honestly. I went and ran my micro sprint on Monday night. I went and had fun. Talked to all my guys, and I'm just here to enjoy it with them for the weekend. I feel like we have a pretty decent race car, so I just want to enjoy it with my guys and have a beer with them after, and you know, just thank them for you know, what a fun and good 2 years it's been.
When you went back and looked at things from last weekend, did you feel like you didn't really do anything wrong? How did you feel like it all played out, and did you feel like some of the commentary after the race was maybe unnecessary?
I don't know. I mean, I have to go to sleep at night too, and feel like I raced them extremely fair. I felt like I raced Austin extremely fair for the situation we were in. So if anything, for how everyone acted, I should have played rougher. You know, maybe that would have been the answer to get us in the Final Four, but what do? You know, it didn't work out, and we're here in Phoenix, not a part of it. So we just need to go and have the best day we can, and just want to enjoy it Wheelan and Chevrolet and everyone that's been a part of our group.
All right, thanks for your time, Sheldon.
Thank you.
So, DJ, what did you think about that comment? If anything, he feels like he maybe should have played it a little rougher last Saturday.
Well, my comment would be that it's the same as what I was going to say before he commented that. I do not think that he needed to play any rougher. I think that he did the exact right thing. Let's take a look at this. I honestly thought that Sheldon did a fantastic job after this restart of getting himself positioned there. You know, this is short track racing. You know, with a little rubbing, I realized right here, he did everything right until it came to the point that he just slowed down too much at that particular time, and that cost him from winning the race, and it actually put Austin Hill in a much worse position. So it could have been that they both made it through, but I've got no problem with what I saw Sheldon Creed do, KP.
No, and I didn't either. I had comments this week, and I said the same thing. And after listening to his interview that he's got to sleep at night and he doesn't feel like he did anything wrong, I'm going to go buy me a Sheldon Creed t-shirt and join his fan club, because I don't believe he did anything wrong. I don't believe he did. We didn't see anything different between Sheldon Creed and Austin Hill than we saw between Denny Hamlin and Ryan Blaney the following day. They moved each other, they got position, and they drove away. Just a green-white checkered, it's a little bit tougher.
And you heard Sheldon say, too, this is time with my guys. His team is still behind him. They want to have one good weekend, last weekend together, regardless of what others may think. But he's ready to finish it well with the two-team. It's Joey Gase putting down his lap, third quick now. 27.7 here. Yesterday he was at a 28.6, so track is definitely quicker.
Yeah, you like to think that, you know, with the new tires that you have on for qualifying, you know, you put some air in them. You got one lap, so you don't have to worry about you put that air in to max that out. You're not looking for that second lap. So you do all of those things, put a little more tape on that. So you expect to pick up, you know. You obviously don't want to overdo it and crash and, you know, put your crew in a bad spot. But you like to think that you can go out and pick up. I like to think all of my changes would make up for any mistakes I might have made as a driver, KP.
Yeah, listen, I hear it. It's tough to go out cold turkey like this on new tires or not, because the thing is, when this thing starts to slide, this racetrack feels like it's going downhill. It feels like there's no bank, there's no anything. It picks up speed. So, listen, it takes a lot of commitment to go out and do these things, and you're right. I like to think that they make up for all my mistakes.
Welcome to the Half Century Club for Kyle Sieg. This will be his 50th start in the NASCAR Xfinity Series this afternoon, and he currently is third.
You're talking about this track, KP. So we didn't race on this configuration of it. It changed. Interesting. Yesterday morning, I had the opportunity to give some rides for the Speedway here to some sponsor people and some people they had in. And so I'd done it last year a little bit, so which was my first time on the track. You know, going 150 miles an hour, or 40, nothing like what these guys are going and not compete, but just to get a sense and a feel for what it's like. So you appreciate that, but, you know, how would I have driven the track differently and that profession? But just to see what they do, I did not take it down across.
I was going to ask.
Onto the apron. They did not want me doing that with the NASCAR driving experience cars, but a lot of people were out, you know, either getting rides or driving themselves. And so, yeah, I encourage you. The cars they have, the crew that they have, you know, if you haven't done this before, you don't get to do it in a lot of other sports, but in this you can. So, you know, if you go to NASCARDrivingExperience.com, you can sign yourself up at a track and have a little fun.
So I have to say, Dale, it's been a number of years since I've been in a race car. 140 would probably take my breath at this point in time.
I scared myself. I try not to scare them.
I'm going to have to tell you that. I would have probably gone down across the flat just trying to get my way back to pit road. That would have been my whole. It's like my granddad and those guys said when they went to Darlington for the first time, they were afraid to get up on the bank. They just rode around. That would be me here now.
This will be Leland Honeyman in the 44. Daniel Dye was supposed to qualify and race this car this afternoon. Unfortunately, he was involved in a wreck, one of several last night in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, that prevented him from being in this race today. So Daniel, heal up soon. We'll see you next year in the Xfinity Series, we hope. And for now, it's up to Honeyman to put the 44 in the show.
It's become kind of a fill-in and in different spots and things like that. So there's talent there. There's no doubt about that. You know, he's just hoping that in one of these cases, in one of these scenarios, that he finds himself, you know, getting offered a ride full time.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do, right? Come with your helmet, do
Absolutely.
what you can. Impress people. Honeyman to the line here out of turn number 4, and he will clock in 9th quick so far. Yet to come, the 4 championship drivers who will be taking time here: Cole Custer, John Hunter Nemechek, Sam Mayer, and last and not least, Justin Allgaier. Coming up.
Thuma. Defined by simplicity. Meticulously crafted to be enjoyed for years to come. Thoughtful bedrooms for modern living.
Don't let your baby cry.
Too many people parenting your parenting? Your baby deserves less. 2 ingredients and nothing more. Water Wipes. Purely protects.
The all-day, everyday pant by Public Rec. More comfortable than jeans, more stylish than sweats. With the all-day, everyday pant, you can choose your waist and length sizes to guarantee a perfect fit. Now comfort looks good.
Early payday. Easy credit building. When your money's good, you feel good. China, the #1 most loved banking app.
As a young man, my hair started to thin. I couldn't sleep, I was stressed about it, and there were few options out there. Nutrafol is a drug-free, natural supplement that gave me my hair, my health, and my confidence back. Get started at Nutrafol.com/man.
Ooh, that's a lovely view.
What are you two looking at?
Tip pick.
What did you say?
Tip pick. Tickets to the show with no hidden fees.
In the NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs,
Green flag is in the air.
names are made here, and here,
At the line.
and definitely here. But with the championship on the line, your name can only take you so far. A will to win, a hunger for speed, and a whole lot of attitude. That's how to see your name in bright lights. The NASCAR Xfinity Series playoffs.
Welcome to season 2 of Armageddon. The guest list is huge.
The games are bigger than ever, and this place is gonna get destroyed.
How do you train for this?
Armageddon. The games return Monday, November 13th on USA.
The official app of NASCAR Tracks has the latest race and event information from all your favorite tracks. Search NASCAR Tracks in the App Store and download it for free. And do it today, Dale Jarrett, because by golly, there's one race weekend left. It's here at Phoenix Raceway. Today, the NASCAR Xfinity Series will crown a champion. Last night, Ben Rhodes claimed his 2nd NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series championship, and tomorrow will be the Cup Series crowning their latest champion. So Marty tracked down the first half of the Richard Childress Racing story from last weekend. How about the second side of that, Marty?
Yeah, let's chat with Austin Hill. So a week on now, Austin, after what happened with Sheldon Creed last weekend, you had a chance to kind of sit for a few days with it. Any difference in when you review the video to what happened? You change your mind at all about how it all went down?
Not really. I mean, the only thing I changed my mind on, which I kind of tweeted it, is that he didn't do anything wrong, moved me up the racetrack like he did in 1 and 2. And then going down the back stretch, he did a really good job dragging some brake, because I was actually trying to drag brake to get back in line behind him, getting into 3 on the white flag there, coming back to the checkered. The thing that I still have the issue with is overslowing in the center of the corner. I felt like he overslowed. I've heard some stuff get said on that he had some damage on the right front, and the question that I asked, which I hadn't got an answer on, is if he did have the damage on the right front and he couldn't turn the steering wheel and he had to overslow, why wasn't that said in the interview? So, but him and I hadn't been able to talk. I still hope to get to have a conversation with him about it. I'm sure that we will, but all in all, it's behind us. I feel like I have a pretty fast Bennett Chevrolet this weekend. That we fought some things throughout practice that we thought that we hit on going into the race. So hopefully we can get a good qualifying lap here, be as fast as Xfinity 10G, sit on the pole, and go stake up the show a little bit, but we'll see what happens.
How awkward does that make things today between you two teammates? How will you race each other?
I mean, you know, you look back at my track record,
from what I can remember, us being teammates from this year and last year, I don't think I've ever wrecked him or anything, and I feel like I've been on the wrong side of it a few times. So I'm going to race like I always race him today. You know, I feel like I'm going to race with respect like I always do when I'm around him. I feel like I give him the benefit of the doubt a lot of times, even times when he's, you know, maybe cut me off in the corner or whatever. I lift and let him gather it up, and we go on about our business. And I don't feel like the roles have been given the same way. Even if I do say chop him off or something like that, he just doesn't lift sometimes. So it is what it is, though. I do think that it is a little awkward this weekend with us being teammates and all going into the final race. I didn't want it to be this way just because him and I have been really good friends. We became really close throughout the season. So it's definitely disheartening, but we'll get through it.
I appreciate the time, Austin. The one takeaway I take from there, Dave, he still wants to have that conversation with Sheldon Creed, and I'm sure eventually they will have that talk.
Yeah, we may have to wait and see how today goes, DJ, because there's a few laps today that they have to run together. You mentioned it wasn't the first time that they gotten together. This was Bristol earlier this year.
Yeah, you know, look, the fact is Sheldon Creed's a very aggressive race driver, and, you know, sometimes he gets in there and not thinking about the consequences and maybe who he's racing sometimes. That's the only fault I have with that. You know, it's just difficult in having teammates.
Yeah, that's the perfect answer. It's difficult having teammates. These are two cars that come out of the same stall or the same shop that have the same power plants. The only thing different are the two drivers. So what makes you think they're not going to run together every week? They should run together every week. That's what Hendrick and that's what Penske and that's what Gibbs, they hope their cars all run together every week and you put it back in the driver's hands. There's been a couple of incidents when it was in the driver's hands that they didn't come back. They just went out there and raced, but they didn't bring it back to the garage. And that's going to happen because they are so equal.
And Austin used the word disheartening. Of course, the most disheartening thing is that neither one of them are racing for a championship this afternoon.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest issue. You know, there was a good chance that one of them was going to get in, and then there was that slight chance there that they run 1-2. I think both of them were going to get in, and it looked like that could even happen. So, it's unfortunate. Now, I will say this. If it was bothering him that much that they really wanted to talk, I'm pretty sure they're parked pretty close together down there in the garage area, and there was ample time yesterday afternoon. But,
true. And I don't know where they live. I was in North Carolina all week. My cell service was good all week. So, I mean, it's been a week, people. It's been a week. You either let it go or find the conclusion, find the end to it.
That's our theme at this moment. We'll let it go. And as Jeffrey Earnhardt makes his lap, we've seen a few more challenge Rajah Caruth, but that time still holds with a 17. Marty, let's move on to the Championship 4.
Yeah, let's chat with Sam Mayer, our first Championship 4 driver. All right. How did it feel in practice yesterday? What's the confidence level coming into today?
Yeah, I feel pretty good about it. Our accelerated Camaro usually has a lot of speed at this racetrack. I just got to get my stuff together and do my part right, you know. So if we can go out there, lay a lap down, I know the cars are going to be good, but I got to be as fast as Xfinity 10G if I'm going to win this championship today. So it all starts here.
How do you play this race as just competing against 3 other guys? Totally different than what you've done all year long, Sam.
Yeah, you know, like being on the other side of it last year kind of put in perspective of what these guys go through. And obviously being on that side of it now, it's way different. So I'm looking forward to it. It's a lot of fun. I've been enjoying this whole week. It's been great doing the media and just having fun. So I'm looking forward to getting it going and hopefully doing it right and getting a checkered flag at the end of the day.
Sam Mayer will be the first of the Championship 4 competitors to go qualify, Dave.
It'll be interesting. You hear a little confidence in his voice there. We mentioned at the top of the show, none of the 4 have ever won the Xfinity Series Championship. So a few nerves there as well. Maybe not from Allgaier, who's tried 5 times and 6 counting today.
I don't care how many times you've been there. You have nerves about this. And you're trying to win a championship. And, I'd have to say that Richard Petty had nerves when he was trying, was in a position to go win number 7. The same with Dale Earnhardt Sr. and Jimmy Johnson. When you're trying to win a championship, that's the ultimate goal. You're always going to have that level of nerves.
So let me ask you this. So the day that you rolled in to that last race and the day you rolled in where you knew you could cinch that championship, you didn't have to qualify. You just had to go out and race. You had already built up to that. But what's that day like? Because this day for these people, for these guys, they've got to come in. They qualify. They're in the car. Do you think this takes some of the nerves off? But what was that day like for you?
You know, I think my day was completely different. I had to go finish in a spot. At Homestead, which was the next to the last race in 1999, I needed to finish 8th or better, and I would clinch the championship. So I knew what I had to do there. But with this, you know, it's so different. You know that, yeah, I only don't have to beat everybody here today. You have to go beat 3. But I think that just adds a level of pressure to the situation, knowing that it all comes down to this. You know, they can't say, the only position they know that if they go finish in, that they're going to win for sure is to finish first here today. But everything else. So I think that heightens the expectations and the nervousness of this day. And I believe it starts right here. They're nervous about this qualifying lap. This is a tough place to go get everything that you can without having been on the track earlier today.
Ryan Sieg very close to unseating Connor Mosack at the top of the charts, which has had a very good lap there in his Toyota.
Right now.
We'll see where that stacks up as things work on through here. 40 cars to fill 38 spots. Already had one driver who was in the wall early and will not be in the race this afternoon. That was Brad Perez. The other car that had to qualify on time, Rajah Caruth, very quick, sitting in 3rd right now.
Yeah, let's not forget, I mean, Connor Mosack, that's a really good lap that he put down there. You know, I think we're going to continue to see things pick up here, obviously as the faster of the group, but you know, that's a good lap for him to put it right on top at this point in time.
Mosack generally figured to be a road course racer. That's a nice lap here on an oval. Slide there for Blaine Perkins. Marty, what's going on down in the qualifying line?
Let's chat with Cole Custer. He'll be the 2nd Championship 4 driver to go out on the pole here in the spring. How'd you feel about the car yesterday? Can you repeat that today?
Yeah, I felt good about it yesterday. I felt like our Haas Automation Ford Mustang was, showed a lot of speed. So, and it drove a lot better than I felt like we had in the spring. So I'm looking forward to it. I felt like we're going to have something to compete with them today. We just got to be there at the end.
Twice you finished 2nd in this Championship 4. What do those experiences help you with today?
Well, I think at the end of the day, we ran really good races both those years, and it just, didn't pan out at the end. We just didn't quite have the speed at the end. So you just got to keep knocking on the door. I think we've got a fast car, and if we're there that last run, we'll have a good shot at it.
And Kyle, that's what he told me on Thursday. It's all about the last run of the day. I'm going to tell myself that all day long. None of this matters until that last run of the day. Be in the right spot for that.
Yeah, listen, it's that stupid race saying to finish first you got to finish. And you got to get to that place where you can compete, where you got a shot at it. I mean, we saw it last night in the truck race with a couple of those guys. Just every restart, you got to make the most of it. You got to put yourself in that position. You got to get the most you can so you can see that front car and hopefully become that first car.
Derek Kraus with a little 4-wheel drift there through 1. Oh, a little bit loose right there. Losing a little bit more time.
He had a good run down in, but yeah, his commitment, level of commitment was a little more than what the tires would commit to there.
This is the same tire that Goodyear brought to the track for these drivers in the March race. Cup cars will have a little bit different compound on them than they did in March, and hoping that will lead to better competition. That's what it's all about.
Yeah, but those 4 guys running for a championship, they wish they had those tires for the first, and everybody was back to where they were, so they had that data.
This is Chandler Smith. He was in the 2023 Xfinity Series playoffs. Did not make it to the Championship 4, but much as Austin Hill wanted to stink up the show this afternoon, he'd love to run today with a victory and walk out of here with a checkered flag and a trophy.
Yeah, there's probably 3 or 4 of those guys that want to stink up the show and just leave their mark right here and say, okay, this is what it's going to be next year. You got to go through me next year. You got to do this. So you need to finish. A lot of guys, if you're not in these playoffs, you want to finish the season on a high note.
To the line, and it's good. It's in the green. Colleague Racing and Chandler Smith to the top in qualifying at Phoenix.
P1 right.
We'll check in with John Hunter Nemechek a little later when we come back. Just talked to Cole Custer. He's confident.
When you think work, you think boots. You think boots, you think ending the day with the same number of toes you started with. Because you're thinking heavy equipment. You think heavy equipment, you think construction. You think construction, you think welding, torching, and hammering without the smashing, puncturing, and scorching. Now you're thinking on your feet. And when you think feet, you're thinking boots. You think boots, you're thinking Ariat.
The all-day, everyday pant by Public Rec. More comfortable than jeans, more stylish than sweats. With the all-day, everyday pant, you can choose your waist and length sizes to guarantee a perfect fit. Now comfort looks good.
When the details take precedence, the rest falls perfectly into place. We strip away everything but the essential. And what we're left with are thoughtful bedrooms for modern living. Thuma.
Every detail counts. That's why I live my life with Lexi B2 hearing aids powered by Bose. When I began experiencing hearing loss, I knew I needed the best of the best. Lexi B2 hearing aids powered by Bose are app-controlled and self-fitting, which means I can tune and customize them to my needs and preferences on the Lexi app and enjoy high-quality hearing. Take the lead and call or order online at lexihearing.com to receive your Lexi B2 hearing aids powered by Bose today.
I got this $1,000 camera for only $41 on Deal Dash.
DealDash.com. Online auctions since 2009. This PlayStation 5 sold for only 50 cents. This iPad Pro sold for less than $34. And this Nintendo Switch sold for less than $20.
I got this KitchenAid stand mixer for only $56. I got this barbecue smoker for 26 bucks.
And shipping is always free.
Go to DealDash.com right now and see how much you can save.
Tonight, 7 Eastern on NBC and Peacock, the undefeated Michigan Wolverines welcome the Purdue Boilermakers to Ann Arbor. Big Ten football from the Big House. Here comes Saturday night. Gives us a little something to pay attention to, DJ, while we're studying our Cup Series notes for tomorrow.
Yes.
That's what I'm doing.
You can pay attention to Michigan scoring at will tonight.
Oh, come on, Purdue.
Oh, there we go.
Let's go, Black
There
and
we
gold.
go.
Kaz Gralla is on track. This is the teammate of Connor Mosack, who is currently second in qualifying here at Phoenix Raceway. Kaz not having quite as good a lap as compared to Chandler Smith, and he is going to be 9th. Marty.
John Hunter Nemechek fastest yesterday, single lap average, 5, 10, 15 lap average as well. So what's the confidence level in the 20 car today, John Hunter?
I'm confident in this race team, confident in myself as a driver. Racetrack's going to change a lot today. Cup practice last night, rubber on the racetrack. It's great to be fastest in all of those categories, but that was yesterday. So made some changes overnight, trying to get the car a little bit better for a feeling that I wanted. But the guys brought a really fast Pied Barker Toyota GR Supra, so hopefully it'll be as fast as Xfinity 10G today here in qualifying and in the race. But if not, you got to work on it all day and be there at the end when it matters.
All that said, you came into our meeting Thursday and immediately said, we're the 4th best team here. Why is that the thought process for the 20 team coming into the championship 4?
We are the 4th best team. There's no expectations this weekend other than coming out here and trying to compete at the highest level that we feel like we know how to do. We're confident in ourselves. Us saying that we're the 4th best team doesn't take confidence away from ourselves. So we've been able to get to victory lane numerous times this year so far. We feel like our process has worked and we're sticking to it. It's just another race weekend. We're here to race and compete, and if we can go win the race, we'll come out champions.
I'll tell you what, Dave, if they bring that speed they had yesterday to the race today, he could very well be the champion at the end of the day.
No, Marty, there is no doubt. It's funny, I talked to John Hunter this morning about the truck championship that he lost a couple years ago, because it was on his mind when he shared thoughts with us this week. And he said, I was over committed to things. I was, more pressured than I should be. So a lot of this talk, I know, is just to, by his own admission, take away that element if he can, DJ.
Okay.
You're not buying it.
I don't understand the logic behind that. I mean, I'm not saying that you got to go say, yeah, we're the best team here, but I think everybody out there knows that they are the best team. Your stats back that up and say that. But trying to say something like that you're the fourth best team, if you're having to play games with your mind that much, but yeah, hopefully it works for him. You know, everybody's a little bit different in the way they go about it. And I'm sure they're going to have a really, really good race.
Yeah, and listen, he hit every cliche there was in the last 15 seconds. We're just here to race. It's just like any other race. We're going to do the best we can. You know, all that. But here's the thing. And maybe it's just because he drives this car, he's not seen it on the racetrack and how dominant it is.
There you go.
I mean, maybe he just sees a different view of where this car is, because every time this car goes to the racetrack, it is the first or second favorite car, no matter what. It's a JGR car. And you know, when you look at it, that's just what it is. And maybe he's saying this to take the pressure. He's listening to his own words. He just needs to listen to his heart and his ability, and he's going to be okay.
So I got to tell you what his crew chief, Ben Bayshore, said as we watched Josh Williams on his qualifying lap. I asked him this morning about fun, because that's another thing that John Hunter has said. We like to have fun with his 20 group. And Ben told me it's just a matter of, we know we've got good cars. We know we are good. It's not arrogance, it's confidence.
Yeah, sure.
He said, I inherited a lot of this because this car was good before Ben Bayshore became the crew chief over there. But that's why we've been able to go out and kind of be relaxed and have fun, because they do know, little secret, they do know they're really good.
Yeah.
Well, glad they know they're really good. But they've got some good ones they have to compete against also for this championship.
That is true. Josh Williams, 12th after that lap. Marty, who you got?
Hanging out with Justin Allgaier, as you mentioned, Dave. 6th championship, 4 appearance for Allgaier. No titles yet. Why will it be different this year, Justin?
I don't know why it'll be different, other than I feel good. You know, last week we were sitting on that red flag at Martinsville, and I was being generous, and I gave myself a 5% chance of making the Final Four. And I think it sparks something, though, that just makes you realize how important the whole season is, how important putting that last race at Martinsville together, the effort of a race team never giving up. And I think I learned a lot about myself in those last 3 laps of the race last week at Martinsville. But proud of the effort. You know, we brought the Platinum back out. You know, this is still Brandt's Platinum anniversary, 70 years in business. It's truly incredible to have been representing them as long as we have, to have another shot at a championship, to be in this position and know how it doesn't work out. Just today's different, and you know, the goal is always be as fast as Xfinity 10G. But I really feel like for us, we put the team together, we put all the right pieces together. We've got pit stall number 1. I'm loose and ready to go. It's a different feel than normal.
Yeah, so why is the feel different? And you told us Thursday, you said, listen, if it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out. I'm at peace with whatever happens. Why is that the mentality?
Listen, I've been blessed to do this for a long time, and I've seen the highs and lows of this sport. You know, you don't realize how high the highs are until you've been down to the bottom in the lows, and I've been on both sides of it. You know, the thrill of winning is second to none. I can only imagine what winning a championship would feel like. But I just feel like no matter the outcome today, when I walk out of this tunnel tonight, I'll give it 100%. And I have the team, I have the car, I have the resources behind me. You know, Chevrolet has been working hard. The Hendrick Engine Shop's been working hard. Every man and woman that works at Junior Motorsports has worked their tails off to be prepared to come here. We had 3 cars last year in the Final Four. We got 2 this year. It goes without saying that I feel like our team has excelled at every level. The only thing I left to do is push all the chips in and go after it tonight.
And DJ, he told us on Thursday, he said, listen, I don't know how many more shots I'm going to have at this. So this weekend, I'm going to soak in every minute and enjoy all of this championship 4.
Yeah, that's great, Marty. And I love that interview and that attitude that he brings with it. You know, he has the confidence, but he's going to be okay with whatever happens. And all you can do is do your best and control what you can control, and then take what it has at the end.
He's won this year twice, and they were big for Justin winning at Bristol for the 2nd time, but it had been a while.
Yeah, that's where he got his first Xfinity win, which was a while back. But to do that.
Got to do the celebratory burnouts. And then this one, who saw this coming last week at Martinsville?
Yeah, Sheldon Creed saw it coming. Nobody saw this coming. I'm telling you, man, but he put himself And that's what we talk about, being there at the end. When we heard Cole Custer, be there at the end. Be there and have a shot at it. That's exactly what Justin Allgaier did last week. He gave himself an opportunity, and when the doors opened up, he just drove through it.
Yeah, he did not have the race car to go compete and pass those guys without everything taking place that did. But that just shows you that never give up attitude until they throw that checkered flag and everybody's crossed the line. That opportunity is still there for it to happen.
He bounced off the wall coming to the white flag. Can't believe it. What a run for Justin Allgaier. And what could have been for Austin Hill. Heard from him a little bit earlier. Yes, it's a little awkward around RCR right now, but 21 team would like nothing better than to take home the win, and he goes to the top of the charts.
Yeah, and he's had a really good year. He's done a lot of good things. Austin Hill's an excellent race car driver, and he puts himself in position to get win a lot of times. They don't always happen for him, but he puts himself right there in the mix.
On track now. This is the 31 car of Parker Retzlaff. This is a driver who I hope keeps trending in the right direction. He had a really good year this year, but I don't want to place too much expectation on, well, so he's going to be, 20% better in 2024. You just don't know, but he's raised some eyebrows. He's made us watch. He has run very quickly in this car.
Yeah, he never seems to take a step back.
Yep.
It's always a step forward, always a step forward. If you watch his decision-making in the race car during the race, he makes smart decisions. He puts the cars in good places, and he takes what the car gives him right now. He's not trying to overstep that boundary. And it's been fascinating to watch him this year just improve each and every race.
Yeah, him and this team grow together. I think that's a good thing to watch them become better together, and I think there's a lot of upside to them.
Maybe it was starting the year so well. That's his best career finish, 4th at Daytona. That's how he began 2023, and it's been fun to watch from there. Part-time this year in the NASCAR Xfinity Series is Myatt Snider in the 19. This will be his final run, obviously, of the season. Still unsure of exactly what 2024 will hold, but as his crew chief, Jason Ratcliffe, hangs up his crew chief hat, they'd like to have a strong run this afternoon.
He had a good car at Martinsville, man. He drove through that pack. He did some good stuff at Martinsville. Didn't have anything to show for it when the day's over with.
Yeah.
That happens a lot. But when you watched how he worked traffic, when you watch what he did, he just went about it in a workmanlike way, and the results were going to be there.
Yeah, solid lap here, too.
Going the right way as he's coming to the line. Is it going to be enough? Ooh, not quite. Second for the 19 of Snider.
Nice job, man.
Just a few cars remaining, including those that will run for the championship this afternoon.
Grand Canyon University, an affordable private Christian university, is one of the largest and fastest growing universities in the country, offering more than 270 programs online. In addition to federal grants and aid, GCU's online students received nearly $130 million in institutional scholarships in 2022. Find your purpose at Grand Canyon University. Private, Christian, affordable. Visit gcu.edu/myoffer to see the scholarships you may qualify for.
Fee-free overdrafts. Easy credit building. When your money's good, you feel good. Chime, the #1 most loved banking app.
At AG, we believe that nourishing your whole body is key to unlocking your vitality as you age, allowing you to thrive both physically and mentally. This is foundational nutrition made simple with AG1.
When the details take precedence, the rest falls perfectly into place. We strip away everything but the essential, and what we're left with are thoughtful bedrooms for modern living. Thuma.
The all-day, everyday pant by Public Rec. More comfortable than jeans, more stylish than sweats. With the all-day, everyday pant, you can choose your waist and length sizes to guarantee a perfect fit. Now comfort looks good.
In the beginning was Daytona.
Here we go.
The birthplace of speed, the launch pad of legends, the great American race. It's always been, and will always be, the proving ground for greatness. Every driver looking to be remembered. Every fan looking for something they'll never forget. Secure your seats now at Daytona500.com.
Phoenix, time for one last Old West showdown. 4 drivers will enter, and you know the rest.
He's a Cup Series champion!
The NASCAR Championship on NBC and Peacock.
NASCAR's championship weekend today and tomorrow on NBC, USA, Peacock. Of course, Cup Series qualifying will follow us immediately, and then countdown to green and the Xfinity Series race for the championship. 4 drivers, 1 champion this afternoon. Then tomorrow on NBC and Peacock, 2 o'clock Eastern, countdown to green. A lot of folks to talk to, a lot of things to break down before we get to the race at 3:30 for the Cup Series to crown their latest champion. Sitting next to me, former champion Dale Jarrett, Kyle Petty. Dave Burns joining you here for the end of qualifying here at the Phoenix Raceway. We're watching Jeb Burton on track now. Coming up shortly, those 4 drivers who have been set for the end of qualifying who will go for the championship. They are in their cars getting ready to roll.
Pretty decent lap there. Stepped out a little bit coming out of 2.
Yeah.
And he lost some momentum down the backstretch, but he had a good time getting into 1 and to the middle of the corner.
Jeb Burton part of the playoffs. Riley Herbst part of the hey, what a streak you're on talk in the NASCAR Xfinity Series right now. It's been wins and top 5s for him lately, and he's on a really good run.
Yeah, everything that we kind of have been talking about, that thought we were going to see all of this coming, and that the playoffs were going to be fantastic, but he has put it together, and this has to give him such great confidence looking ahead to next year.
Of course, the win at home in Vegas, that was fantastic. And then 2nd place at Homestead and 4th last week at Martinsville, and all that chaos at the end.
Yeah, there were wins and there are statement wins. You can win at home, it's great, and then when you just totally whip the field, makes it even sweeter.
Yeah, if you haven't had a chance to look that up, see a replay of the Vegas race, and you'll see why Riley it was such a special day. I forget what the final margin was, but it was big, and had to beat his teammate to do it, but they were hooked up in that 98.
Like 15 seconds ahead or something at the end. It took a while for the 2nd place car to come across, I know that, but that was just fantastic to watch him navigate that. Then again, do it at home, nothing better. Pretty proud dad there.
Absolutely. And I think the celebration may have gone past here at the track as well, but the fence climb, everything you'd expect from a first-time winner in the Xfinity Series, that was Riley Herbst. Josh Berry has won. Can he do it this weekend at Phoenix? Find out this afternoon. A couple hundred laps around here. Right now he's in the red against the quick time of Austin Hill.
Yeah, you would think this would be exactly his type of track, JP. I mean, really good short track race. And I realize this is a mile track, but it drives like a short track for a race driver here.
And from the first time he came, he ran good here. He doesn't have a win this year.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Still looking for that win. It's tough to roll into this place to get so championship 4 looking for your first win.
Josh Berry will be moving on to the Cup Series next year, driving that 4 car that Kevin Harvick is stepping out after tomorrow. That's one of the storylines we'll be covering in our countdown to green. Kevin's final race, Eric Almirola's final full-time race as far as we know. And oh, by the way, 4 potential champions that we'll spend time with on the grid tomorrow. Champions in the house with Daniel Hemrick. It was right here that he won his championship back in 21 by a bumper. His front bumper to Austin Cindric. Yeah. But that's what it took to get the win that day. We could see it again today.
Yeah, well, he went about his, as I was watching the truck race last night, and, things that took place there. You want to win, and you have to be aggressive, but I don't think that you want a championship win by saying that, oh, well, I spun the guy out to get that. He didn't. He used his bumper, just a little nudge to open the door for where he wanted to go.
He gave the bumper, but he gave him just enough room to try to save it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then just drives past. And That's just solid racing right there. That's Dale said a minute ago, talking about this place driving like a short track in a lot of ways, talking about Josh Grigg. That's a great short track move right there.
And unless you're Cindric, it's one of the great finishes that we've seen in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. It's a couple of years ago, of course, last year, Ty Gibbs to the championship with his race here and win. And a lot of folks say it'll take a win today, not just finishing ahead of the others, which would give it to you. You may have to be first.
All right, you think it'd mean a little more to Sheldon Creed if he were to knock Austin Hill off the pole right there?
Oh. Believe it's on his mind.
Well,
in the green, big.
There.
Yep. It's going to be close.
Oh, a little bit sideways right there. He charged his corner.
He wanted it.
Mm-hmm. He was in the neighborhood. He'll be behind Myatt Snyder.
Yeah. I think that told us what we were asking right there.
That's exactly right. He knows exactly where he gave it up.
He knew he could have done it. Sammy Smith may have something to say about the pole here, too. He was the winner in March here at Phoenix Raceway. And Joe Gibbs Racing has been very fast in the NASCAR Xfinity Series with their Toyotas. Smith, an example of that in the race. See what he can get done here in qualifying.
I don't know, man. He's probably the 5th or 6th best car here after Nemechek, since he's 4th. If this is Joe Gibbs Racing, I'm just saying, man. Everything we say points to this team and these guys, and it just continues to go back to point us in the direction of Toyota and Joe Gibbs Racing.
A little margin there for Sammy Smith coming to the checkers, but there were a couple of late restarts that were very exciting here at this track. We'll expect more of the same today, but this is the one, of course, that put him into the playoffs.
Yes.
And didn't make it to the championship 4, but a good run for this driver.
Yeah, but he was right in the mix to make it here. Up right there, goes to the top of the board with that right there. He had himself in position and in the mix last week at Martinsville. It didn't, late race restart didn't work out to his favor, but he was still there battling, and he could affect how this race goes to get today. He has a fast race car, and he knows how to win here, and that could be something that comes into play for those 4 drivers that are trying to win the championship.
Finally gets to take the yellow stripes off his back bumper after today.
That's always no good.
A rookie is Sammy Smith this year, so extra impressive.
Speaking of impressive.
Young and hungry and wanting a championship. Do you have Sam Mayer on your favorites for the championship here today? This qualifying lap may set the tone for Sam.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think qualifying has been their strong suit the entire year. He's working the wheel, driving this thing hard, JB. But I think they get better. You see them make a couple of adjustments, and as the race goes on, he kind of settles in.
Yeah, and I think that's it. As a young driver, he kind of settles into that pace. Still working that thing in the middle of the corner, man.
And he may have to rely on some of the wizardry of crew chief Marty Lindley to get this thing set for the start, and then work on it during the race. Just a couple of pit stops, DJ. This race is short, so they don't have a lot of opportunities to work on the car.
No, you got to tell them, make sure that you're giving them the right information, and they get those changes if you're needing that made, and then have good pit stops that might help you gain a little bit of track position back.
Yeah, listen, here, Cole Custer, we know that Cole Custer knows how to get around this place. He's come, we've seen him here a million times. He's been here in the Cup cars. And he approaches this race and approaches qualifying a little bit different, I think, as we've seen the conversations and stuff. There's a calmness about him. We talked about the calmness with Justin Allgaier, but there's a calmness about him. But he wants to prove to everybody, man, how rough is it down across that flat right there? This is crazy. But he wants to prove to everyone that he deserves a spot back at the Cup level, because that's where ultimately he wants to be. But he would like to come back with a championship on his resume.
When I watch him inside the car right here, I think I'm looking at Ryan Newman driving a race car, sitting in there, the way that he sits there, the way that he goes about it. And I say that in a very positive manner, that Ryan Newman's outstanding race driver, still is, but that's what Cole reminds me of. Pretty good lap. I know that he was looking for a little better. I think he certainly wanted to be up inside that top 3 or 4 to get this race started, but it's going to be a little outside of that.
Okay, KP, what car is this?
4th.
The 4th best?
So I see him just running a little bit slower than Marty Snyder, or than Myatt Snyder right there, because that'll put him 4th. He'll be the fourth best car. But you know that this is and we saw in Cole Custer, we saw how he was up on the wheel, man. I mean, he drove that thing every lap. It's like you say, Ryan Newman, Cale Yarborough. You go back to that old footage, just driving it every lap. You watch these guys and how smooth they are when they come. They are so. He looks like he's pulling in the grocery store parking lot right here. Okay, and compare that to where Custer was. Custer was up on that wheel driving this thing, but look how smooth he is. How smooth he is to the gas. And I think that is where you want to be when you start this race. You don't want to have to be driving this thing every lap. You want it to do some of the work. This is a good lap going here.
Going to get close.
Not quite going to get there. Third for John Hunter Nemechek.
So,
well,
close.
7 goes and beats him. He'll be that 4th car, KP.
That's it.
If you weren't with us earlier, John Hunter Nemechek was doing a little self-talk, trying to maybe undersell and over-deliver on qualifying and or the race, and called himself the 4th best car.
Look, I'm just telling you that people in Vegas made him more than a 2-1 favorite over the rest of the field, and they generally know what they're talking about. So,
but a really good lap, and you saw him in the car. He never got out over the tips of his skis. He just he eased it down in the corner, picked up the throttle. He was smooth as silk that whole lap.
See if Justin Allgaier looks a little bit smoother than his teammate Sam Mayer, heading down to turn 1 and going through it. It's a little calmer.
Oh, carried speed there. A little late get back throttle, but working it off that corner. Gonna be close. Got a chance.
What can Allgaier do? Final 2 corners. Where is he gonna finish in the qualifying order? It is not gonna be the pole. Where will Allgaier be? He'll be 8th. So there you have it. Sammy Smith to the top spot for this afternoon's championship race. He can't race for the championship, but boy, he's got the best starting spot to get that checkered flag and a big trophy, Marty.
Back-to-back poles in the season, hoping to get back-to-back wins here at Phoenix. So what's the confidence you can sweep the year and get a win here this afternoon?
Yeah, a lot of confidence. I feel like we have the car to do it. Felt like we were pretty solid in practice yesterday. Just need to work on our short run speed, and we did that. So I feel good about it. Just got to go put the race together.
There you go, Sammy Smith starting from the pole today, Dave.
How about that? Has a ride to go to next year with Junior Motorsports. He will be finishing up with JGR, and he hopes in victory lane. Here's where the 4 will be starting here this afternoon. DJ, thoughts?
Yeah, I think that kind of what we expected. I think Sam Mayer, I thought he might get there around 10th, but still got a shot at it.
Yeah, listen, it's going to be a dogfight between these 4. Nobody has shown the speeds as of yet to just drive away.
Expect a great race. Expect the championship 4 to be in the hunt at the end. Cup qualifying coming up here next on USA from Phoenix. Thanks for joining us.